Video starts, I want to say Happy New Year once again, and for those, I hope you have a really good New Year's. And also before, Easy does not have the divine dividing. That was a mistake. He has something else that's a sacred gear. So alright, let's get into this. Arriving at the Highwood residence was interesting. It was something that was different. He thought it would have gone like this. Saying hello, explaining himself here, why is he here, telling about the truth about everything that he knows, and all that stuff. But it went the complete opposite of what he thought. He talked to Mickey Masaru Hayato, got along, had dinner, but they thought him as one of Issei's friends that the boy didn't tell them about. And that's how it stayed. And he kept it like that. Not long in Issei's room, Izuku will be laying on the ground with only a blanket on the ground, another blanket for him to rest upon. The ground was being on the floor sleeping. It's very tough sometimes. The Green Ant would listen, as remembering what was said. The humans should not know about the supernatural world. It will cause havoc and chaos among the world. And for that for there to be peace, there must stay like that. And it needs to stay like that from now on. Izuku didn't understand why. What's the real big deal? It's not like they'll do anything bad. What happened? What's wrong with telling them? Izuku turned towards Issei, asked, "Hey, how long have you been in the supernatural world?" "Not long," Issei says. It's a short amount of time, but, nothing really too big." Izuku would nod, understanding. "So, you sure you want to keep this secret from your parents about the supernatural world?" Bucho says it's best. And when I actually think about it, I think it is best. Think about it. Devils, fallen angels. Fallen angels, devils, and angels, and yokai, and dragons. It's like a fairy tale, But the fairy tales are real. You heard of those myths and stories that talked about a campfire around a campfire, right? Yeah. But imagine that real life. Dragons actually flying over, stealing princesses, and completely burning down things. Down to hell. Hell, to be honest. It wouldn't be hard to think if a dragon would disappear out of nowhere. Nor like the Godzilla movies, Well, the Godzilla movies are different, as Zuko says. That's a man-made creature. Godzilla's man-made, made by radiation, and as Zuko says, dragons in the fictional part is more supernatural. Godzilla can be supernatural, Issei says. Yeah, but he's more scientific and scientifically supernatural, scientifically fiction. It's due of radiation. True. Zuko would say. So it's like that. Similar how to a kaiju would appear, destroys things under one attack of its special attacks, huh? Yeah, that's what I guess. And to be honest, I don't know. Ryusama Bucho, she was actually pretty strong, I have to admit. I don't know, Zuko says. I have my mentor. My mentor was the #1 hero. He could change the weather with one punch. He eyes with wideness, looking toward the Green Ant, saying, "Really?" "Yeah, really." He was that powerful. And he was a lot stronger in his prime. Damn, bro. That's incredible. Yeah, it is, but ever since the incident, he lost most of his power. What incident? When one for all. And I want you to keep this a secret between me and you, but the rest won't know until I deem them worthy. My quirk, one for all. It was passed down from generation to generation. 8 users, me being the 9th. It was made to defeat one thing and one thing alone. Its sole purpose: defeat all for one. This was something that I didn't think that I was going to do anytime soon. But one for all was made of all for one. What All Might told me about its origins is there's 2 brothers. One was quirkless and one had a quirk, a very powerful quirk. He could take those others' quirks and make them his own. But within the story, the quirkless brother, there was very undeemed and unfit to become anything more than just some outcast. The brother who had the quirk would have thought in some remorse or guilt, heck, even in sick pleasure, should put him under his wing and gave him a quirk. But secretly, the quirkless brother had a quirk the whole time to share and transfer his quirk. He gave him a stockpiling quirk, and that from that day, one for all was born and passed down from one generation to the other. And his sole purpose was to defeat all for one, and that was it. All Might lost his whole organs in a fight with all for one. Most of the one for all users were taken out by All Might, by all for one. All 7. All Might was the only one who survived. Well, I would not really say survived. He came out with luck. When I saw the wound, I saw it was very fatal. If it weren't for the fact that quirks existed, he would be dead for sure. Let me guess, healing abilities. Like Asia's Sacred Gear. Yeah. Similar to Asia's Sacred Gear, but downgraded. All Might was lucky to survive, as he says. It was a 10% chance he would survive. He said there was a likelihood he would die. If he survived, he would lose most of his power. So he had to pass down one for all very soon, unless he loses it forever. So he passed that down to me. Whoa, he says. That's deep. Yeah, Shizuka says. Do you think there's all for one character still alive? I don't know. To be honest, I don't think so. Maybe so. I'm not sure. I hypothesize. Nodding understanding as getting what the boy was saying. The 2 would fall asleep. Not long. It was that day, the next day, when Izuku started his new school at Cool Academy. It was interesting for a short amount of while. It was something else, actually. All the males were glaring at him, forgetting all the girls' attention now, because a new cute boy has arrived. This was something really bad. The boys wanted to categorize him like how Mineta would probably do. It scared the Green Knight, seeing so much animosity from them just because of the girls. Freaked him out. But not long, it came time for the RC. The two would enter in as walking in. The Green Knight and Asia would walk into a very weird scene. As Reese and Issei wouldn't make contact at all. As very much, this is when they would see someone new, a woman who was a bit older than them, in her 20s, but still looking pretty young. And very much, she holds this air of calm but relaxed, but with power. Izuku could feel it. He knew it. It was making him get his senses go crazy. It was not something that he would usually feel. But ever since he became a devil, or I guess when he died, these senses and energies just popped up. And what he was feeling from her was a lot. And I mean a lot. But it had this type of cold feeling to it. Seeing the woman who had silverish like gray hair, more on silver, like between the two colors, and it was braided into two pigtails along with a maiden outfit, a blue and white maiden outfit. The Green Knight would say, "What's going on?" As Great Fia would look and very much wonder who was the new boy, which she heard from Rias that she only had at least 5 peerage members. Including the one that's including the one that was sealed away. But now she has 6. This is my new pawn, Izuku Midoriya. I'll explain his situation later. As Ria says simply, the Green Knight would question is scratching his head. As then a feeling would pop up. He didn't know why, but his senses were going crazy. Immediately turned towards what he was feeling. At one side of the corner of the room, as a glow of an orange, like red circle would appear as it would flash in, appearing when a group of people would appear. As a blonde-haired man whose hair would be slicked back, as he would have a tux and a beige-like brown with a tie for red ties. Rias, Riser missed you. Riser, as she would say in a low voice. What are you doing here? It's too early. As the long man would walk up and quickly grab her side to bring her close within his chest. Riser's missed you very much. Things have been quite hectic, but Riser's here to come and claim what rightfully belongs to him. Izuku didn't know what was going on. It's the fact that these guys just popped out of nowhere. It's like how they popped in, not yesterday, and he didn't know what the hell where those are. Or the fact that this guy just popped in, then, and called himself from the third person. If he can say, the next thing he would say is, he's something crazy. See, if he could say, what's the hell's going on in this world? Because if he can say it, the next thing he could probably say is, there's something going on with him, and something else is going on with the side of him that might have incredible power, because he has one for all. What next? A dragon? As the Green Knight would say, whoa, I don't get it. What's going on? As Issei would say, yeah, tell me, what's going on as summoning his sacred gear as a purple like gauntlet that was surrounding his wrist. So finger lookups as it would be shaped of a blackish purple dragon with gold markers on the side. And it would be on sides both sides of his arms and legs. Ezri was pushed Riser off of her as saying, "This is Riser Phoenix, one of the clan heir of the Phoenix clan. And Reese is my future bride," as the poor man would simply say. Izuku would be confused. "What do you mean?" Izuku says. "Future bride. I don't know about you, but isn't marrying someone under you illegal? Because to be honest, you're an adult and she's still a child in technicality, you know? So, kind of hard to explain." As Riser would turn and glare at the boy. "Watch your tone. Riser does not like it. How you quietly say that Riser cannot marry who he wants to marry." Izuku could get kind of frightened as stepping back a few. As he said, "Hey, back off. He didn't even do anything." And what he's saying is kind of true. You can't just pop out of nowhere and just demand this. Just say that you're Reese's husband. No way in hell. This is what Graspy would say simply. Phoenix Riser-sama is very much is patrol. Ezekiel would be so confused. "What do you mean, patrol? I know what it means, but how's that possible? Like, literally, look at them." Reese would say simply, "In the underworld, there are marriage contracts. With the original 70 pillars, it was gone to a smaller amount. The devils are in danger of becoming extinct. That's why the EVP system was created, to repopulate the devil species. And marriage contracts are fortunately used these days." Izuku's eyes would be shocked and widened as hearing this. "Wait, so you married us to repopulate your species? So you just forced people into loveless marriages?" Izuku already knew about that, loveless marriages. Of course, there's one in his world. There's quick marriages. Heck, to be honest, he had a classmate that was in a quick marriage. It was quite simple. Todoroki, the way he goes around talking and just like how his father is, so simple that his mother and father were probably bound in a quick marriage. If you think about it, why would a fire user and an ice user get along that much? Especially someone like Endeavor. He's not someone that will just settle down with somebody. He's too, moving. Agreeing it. And we're supposed to do this mission a couple years later. Why now? Well, Riser needs to get this done. Riser has other things to do, and very much the counselor just tells Riser to basically hurry it up. Things cannot be taken so lightly, and dumb species is running out. Get on sleep. Riser needs to get things done. And basically now, Riser getting married. Riser and Reese are getting married this weekend. They'll all be shocked to hear this, as very much Issa would growl. "No way in hell I'm gonna let you go, Bucho." As Izuku would hear this, as very much wondering now, okay, as thinking about it, so she wants to marry, and clearly she doesn't want to marry him, what will be the only way to get out of it? A fight. But they can't fight in out broad daylight. They'll go off their norms and not letting the humans know the supernatural world. So I'm gonna say something, as Zuko says. I'm thinking of there might be a way to settle this properly without, well, yelling at each other. Is there anything that we can do for combat to settle this, like a matchup between you and Rias, to get it over with? A rating game, Riser says. You want to challenge Riser to a rating game? As Rias says, whining in shock as hearing this says, yes, we'll challenge you to a rating game. Huh? As Issei and Izuku would kind of wonder what the rating game. As Akano would simply say, a rating game is a game meant for entertainment, fun, and to very much solve problems between the double faction. It can be used for many things, disputes like this. It's where two peerages can fight it out. So it's basically like a competition between the two, Zuko says simply. Like the sports festival. What's the sports festival, Zuko says? It's where all the classes go against each other in a pure-on tournament. It's similar to an all-for-all. No keepbacks. Depends on the games. Oh. And, they're allowed to use their special... Zuko will say simply. Not simply. Ozzy will say, ask, if we're going to be in this rating game, how will we prepare? Riser says, Riser will give you 10 days. I want to make it a challenge. And Risers do like challenge. 10 days to the rating game. That's all you're getting. Riser will see you soon, dear. As teleporting away with the rest of his peerage. Seeing how he had all women in his peerage, he would get jealous and pissed off. Seeing how the guy had his own peerage and pretty much gloated about it. Especially early what he did. It pissed him off. How he gets to grow up all those women. Very soon when he becomes high class level, he'll get his own peerage. Then his own harem. Then he'll become the harem king. That's his smile come on Issei's face. Yeah, that sounds more better. Zuko could kind of be grossed out by this. It's kind of like slavery, but also like family. A peerage can go in two ways. Treat like family, or become a slave. To my case, I got lucky. Zuko will turn toward Trias and say simply, so I suppose we're going to do training. But now there's a question I have. How are we going to do training when the human world can't know about the training that we're going to do? Because, well, you say that they won't understand things that they can't understand. And they will fear things that they don't understand. So, how are we going to do this? When it comes to sound things, we devils can have areas where we can train. Tell my brother we're going to set the rating game. I was waiting for you a nod, saying, for Sama will know. Prepare to pack up. Your teleportation will be ready for you later in 2 hours. As they would all nod and making the way to leave. Zuko would walk away and head back home. Well, the problem is he didn't have anything to pack up. He kind of left without things, and that thing he had was just the clothes that he had. So, yeah. So, Issei decided to help him out and buy some things that he would like. So, that solved the problem. After doing that, they're all prepared and headed out to the training. Arriving, they would see luscious plains, or trees and mountains, and one large mansion. And this is when Ozzy says, "We're gonna stay here to train." Yes, that's what he says simply. As we feel say, yeah, 10 days to train. Ray-sama. Good luck. As she disappear. As they all go inside, as Shizuku will walk towards Ria, says simply, "Does she know about my condition?" Yeah, I told her by now. How does this affect the underworld? That I was from another world entirely. How does this affect, the supernatural world? I'm not sure, but my brother probably knows by now. And we're probably gonna keep it under wraps as much as possible. So, okay, Izuku says simply, as the Green Knight would very much nod, as they would all head inside. Rias would give them instructions to put their things where they belong and get ready to start training in about 10 minutes. Clearing outside 10 minutes later. They're all in their best training gear, as Zuko would be in his UA gear, along with his UA gym clothes, because those are the only things he had with him. And with Akino's help, he had it resewn back together. But it was more durable than last time. But it's a shame he couldn't do anything with his hero costume. That might have to come later. Zuko would say, so, what are we gonna do now? Alright, first, as Ray says, hang on. Issei, first, we need to boost your power. We need to increase your power for your sacred gear. Issei says, you want to increase my power? Mm-hmm. That means you have to know how to use sacred gear properly. Pull it out. As Issei will do so, very much, he would pull out his sacred gear. As ever since he unlocked it, he very much unlocked sacred gear. And that's sacred gear is Vitras. He separated it into 12 pieces at least. Vitra? Yes. He's one of the many dragons, powerful dragons. How powerful, Zuko says? Let's say in a high dimension. Zuko was simply, okay, demonstration. Koneko would say simply, let's say with one attack he can wipe out a whole mountainside. Just with one attack. Zuko has a wide shock saying, really? And there's more powerful beings than him? As Rias will say simply, yes. Victor's very strong, but not as strong as the other dragons around, like Tannen, Grand Kurok, the Having Dragons, Tiamat, and the other Dragon Kings. And especially Great Red and Ophis. Who are Great Red and Ophis? The Infinite Dragon got Great Red, the Dragon of Dreams, and Ophis, the Infinite Ouroboros Dragon. Infinite as in infinity? As Ezekiel Google's eyes. A being has infinite power? Ezekiel would shiver in fear as thinking about if one creature can take out a whole mountainside, you can only imagine what the creature could do if just a vast infinite power like that. They could take out the whole world if they wanted to. And simply that was just terrifying. Zuko would say simply, so what are we gonna do? You say you're gonna show Kiba. Try to absorb the power that he has. Kiba? Yes, Bucho. As Kiba will draw a wooden sword, Issei will put up a line as very much drawn upon his drawing upon the energy that Kiba holds within him. As this training was going on, the training would be going on well for Issei, as nothing special would happen. But later on, finally, at least getting one jump on Kiba. After absorbing enough of his energy, kind of lying off, he would actually do something surprising to the whole group. But throwing one punch, he would made enough wind gusts of wind to at least blow Kiba back. It was nothing compared to One for All, as you could thought in his thought process. And speaking of One for All, he can't even control that power, and he can feel it. It got stronger. It's like it was growing stronger inside of him every second, every moment. But so are those other sources of power. The other two, or I guess 3. That darker feeling, it's growing stronger, but there's something else within the darker feeling. It was like more calm, but relaxing. But the other one was raw, dominating power. He didn't know what that was. Alright. Good. Izuku, your turn. As you can see, alright, what do you want me to do? First, we're going to start with the power you already got from the very beginning. Pull out your quirk. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not sure that's a, good idea. He says, yeah, Bucho, his quirk has a bit of drawbacks. How big? He gave me an example of the first time he used it, he broke his whole arm along with his legs. The only limb that he had available was his other arm. So, everyone was here shocked to hear that his quirk had that much power. Archie says, how did you... my word, there's healers. I had a healer heal me. Her name was Recovery Girl. She could heal me with using people's stamina. But I was exhausted afterwards. Reese says, do you know how to control the power? Asks Izuku and nod, no. No, I haven't really found a way to regulate the power. To be honest, I've been struggling to handle that. Along with the fact that there's a ton of power within my quirk, so I can't really figure out how to do that properly. Let's see it as demonstrate to us. Go all out as you can. All out? Okay. She said all out. So, do I just throw a punch with One for All? Or try, first way, something else out? I could use my fingers like I did with the ball, but I don't know if my finger will survive 100%. Or it might just be blown off, simply. I think it's best I just use my whole arm. Well, here it goes. As Zuko charged One for All for his arm, the red veins would glow with power. They'll all be shocked to see the red veins on his arm. As he immediately throwing a punch, this would cause hurricane winds blowing off of the punch as uprooting trees and destroying the forest around. The forest that was punched with the wind from the Air Force. After the damage was clear, the side of the clearing that Izuku punched forward was completely cleared out with trees, completely toppled over. And you can see acres and acres of land was toppled over and continued to go out to the vastness. Izuku's arm would completely be broken, as seeing it was purple and blood gushing out of it. Blood seeping from the arm. Aja would quickly go up to him and healing his arm simply. After a few minutes, it was healed. Thanks, Aja, it's as good as new. As Zuko realized the cuts that he had on his arm, they were all gone. Well, that was good. That power is really chaotic. And you don't have a way to control it. Issei would see this as saying simply, you have a lot of backlash. One limb, if you use one limb, it gets destroyed. But if you use the other limb, it will get destroyed as well. Ever try using your legs? I did before. They are both broken when I used them for the first time. Used my power for the first time. Fingers, legs. Why don't you just spread it throughout your whole body? Izuku will blink as thinking about this. He never thought of spreading the power around his body. Issei, I don't think it'll be a really good idea. No, think about it. I only use one for all one of my limbs. I never really put any effort to try to actually control how much power I actually put into it. If I use a lower percent, like 5% at least, into my limbs, all my limbs combined, I might get something that would actually still give me destructive power one for all, along with the speed boost like All Might. As going through the muttering, as Akano will chuckle, saying, "You're muttering." Izuku blushes, saying, "Sorry, a habit." Ryuso smiling as Ryuso smiles, saying, "It's fine. Try it out." The green will nod as trying it out. Alright, 5%. Small 5%. As charging up the tree up his power. As the green veins will go through all his body from the very legs to his abdomen, to his chest, and to the very top of his head. As the green cracks electricity spark around him. As Zuko would smile, "Hey, I did it, but can you move?" Ryu says. "Kind of difficult, but it's draining, but, you know." "Alright, good. You can cut it off now." Zuko cut off the flow of energy. And as Rias will say, "Now let's try sacred gear." My sacred gear? You mean that red gauntlet? Zuko would think about it as thinking about the power that was in. He would know what it feels like. It's not like that darker feeling. It's more dominating. Like a flame. Like a really, really hot flame within him. Pulling up that really hot flame as it would flash in a red flash, appear on his left arm. Seeing it, the gauntlet was right there. That same red fingerless gauntlet with the 2 golden spikes, and then with that green gem on a very palm of his hand. A part of his hand as seeing it. So, what now? Alright, Rhea says simply. What I read about sacred gears is they dwell upon emotions. Emotions? Think about something that would... Any emotion that could drive your sacred gear to giving you the most power as possible. Think about something that means a lot to you, like something that means everything in the world. Zuko will think about it. A sacred gear draws upon its emotions. They draw upon emotions. Feeling the emotions of the emotions is a part of him. He's a part of it. I was thinking as flashes go through his mind. Villains. All Might dead. His classmates, Ochako, Ida, Sui, all of them dead. As a flash, he would see a man over them. A man smiling. But he would know this man. It was simple. All for one. He didn't know how, but he thinks what he could know is it was one for all. Connecting the dots. Helping him connect to the gear on his arm. As simply he would feel it. The agony. He couldn't let them all die, could he? He couldn't save them from all the pain that was going to happen to them. He had to figure out a way to save them all, to get back to them quickly as possible. As immediately the feeling would grow as the sacred gear on his left arm would glow in power. As he would say, "Twice critical." As the twice critical would turn into something different. As twice critical would powering up to another stage, as it would glow. The red gauntlet, it would extend from his arm, just from his hand, to the very back of his elbow, with two golden spikes protruding out of it still. But the gauntlet had claws, and it was a lot bigger. But it was still green gem on it, along with what was glowing in power. As very much it would glow. As it a bright glow, it would finally dawn. The second liberation. As it would dawn, as the glow would die down, as Zuko's eyes would open as seeing it. It doesn't look that different, Zuko says. It looks literally the only thing you can really see. It's gotten longer. And it's not just fingerless, it's actually full gauntlet. As they'll all be just stupefied, will raise a Kano and keep Konoko, as Riz will simply say, the boosted gear. He'll say, what? The boosted gear. Akado says, the boosted gear hosts the soul of one of the heavenly dragons, Drake. Dragon of domination. Drake, as he said, saying the heavenly dragon, Drake of domination. Says he was a very powerful dragon, at least one of the top strongest. He really had to beat most of the mid-class dragons, high and mid-class dragons. But compared to Office and Great Red, he was puny. But one of the dragons that was mostly recognized for his power. Izuku would look at it, seeing the gauntlet. I have a dragon within my arm? Okay, maybe I jinxed it what I said earlier. Izuku would sigh, saying, I have a dragon within my arm. That's nice. Wait, if I have a dragon within my arm, doesn't that mean I'm connected to it somehow? Hello? Anyone in there? It's not awake yet, probably. It's still sleeping. Then, how do I awaken it? I'm not sure, Rhea says. But try using it. One of the booster seeker's many abilities is to boost your power 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds. So, my power multiplies every 10 seconds. As she'll nod. Dividing divides your powers. Divides someone's powers in 10 seconds. Izuku eyes would widen as hearing this. Okay, if he was to boost at least for 3 minutes, and after every 10 seconds, and his base stats, he would at least rival some of the pro heroes. Because to be honest, he could fight pretty good. But now if he boosted with One for All, that would be just a crutch. Incredible, as Duke says. I'll be overpowered. Now I think about it, I kind of am overpowered already with One for All. Nice, man. That's cool, as CC says. Wait, if I boost every 10 seconds, is there a drawback to this? We're not sure about the booster gear that much. The Secretary was very obsolete. All we know, the booster gear can boost your power. Where in very much it's a red dragon domination. That was it. Nothing else. I think as famous as the Secretary would be more, common. How do you not know about Secretary? Isn't it like some legendary power? To be honest, Secretary is very vague in power, very vague in information. the Secretary was never really on one of the faction sides. They were always on their own. The white one? The same with the white one. So, that makes sense. They're both lone wolves. How exciting, Zuko says. Try boosting your power. Okay. It's drawing upon the gear's power as he would hear a voice. Boost! As again, it would say boost. Izuku continued to boost his power. As until he felt his absolute max. As it would say explosion. As at full power, his whole body would glow in green energy. She is bursting full of energy. Very much Izuku. Holy shit. Very much Izuku would fire overflowing. As he needed, an exit. Or an exhaust to, release it. Thinking about all my signature smash. But he's not even sure that would work. So the next thing he tried was something that he thought, like Bakugo's explosion quirk. So naturally he generated the energy to the gauntlet into a small point. Without even knowing, he started putting the energy to a small ball. All the magic energy went within the ball. A small ball that's the size of a pin. And very much, what do I do with this? As Zuko's thoughts were only one thing: punch it. As doing so, punching the red small magic, this would launch it to a large red beam. As the beam was shred its way towards the mountainside, exploding in power. As it would take on the whole mountainside, very much showing the raw potential of the boosted gear itself. What the fuck? What is that? That was me? I took a whole mountainside without One For All. And I know One For All has a lot of power. But holy shit. Looking at the Great Gauntlet, what am I going to do with myself? Simply the Green would say, well, that's interesting. He took out a whole mountainside, Issei says, shocked and astonished. Well, that's the power of the boosted gear for you, as Rhea says simply. Alright, Izuku, she says, you're going to work on controlling One For All and the boosted gear. Got it? Mm-hmm. Good. As they start their training, Izuku would go off to his own and started training with One For All. Not long, after a few hours, he can move. With One For All, he was pretty good. Not long, just have a body. It's very durable. So he can take a bit more as very much running as fast as he can and boosting along with the power, increasing his speeds. This was exciting, ravishing, fun. Very much stopping as being looking. And now thinking about it, he had another source of power, but it was darker, more evil. He didn't want to draw upon it, but to be honest, if he can't take a risk, how far can he go? As he remembered one thing that All Might says. All Might told him, there are no evil quirks or no evil powers, just evil parts. There's no power that's evil. Just those who use the power for evil are evil, not the power itself. You may get a chill from the power, but that's basically it. Okay. As drawing upon that dark energy, he would feel it. It was cold. dark, ruthless anger, rage. As he would feel it, he was afraid to continue drawing upon it, but instead of drawing upon the other source of power within it, as drawing upon it, he would feel a heavy weight on his left, on his left hand, seeing that he was drawing a sword, or not a kitchen-like knife sword. It was wrapped in a white cloth. As entangling the cloth, he would very much see it, and it was long, sharp, but in its own way, beautiful. He admired the blade. He knew it. It knew him. And one word came to his mind, and he spoke it quietly. Sangetsu. Huh. As drawing upon Werther's power, a flash of energy would appear as spiritual pressure would rise, as in the show of power, Izuku was in that same getup. The black shiaku, as very much the black robe, very much with the black Shinigami clothes, along with the large black white X on his chest, with a hole through it. Izuku says. Nice, Izuku would say simply. It's looking okay. I was thinking about it. Can he draw upon all three sources of power and use them as boosting again? Boost. Good. Trying this out as we'll draw upon one for all, screaming and cracking electricity crackle around him. Let's do this. As running out of a tree and zipping past him for green, as the only current crackling electricity would pass, as he would reappear in a flash, as the tree would topple over him, cleanly sliced in half. Whoa, that feeling amazing. All right, All Might. I think I'm getting why, but now, what am I supposed to do? Remember what All Might always told him. Remember, use power. Power can be very intoxicating. It can make you do things that you would never usually do. Remember, always have some control over your power. It's not evil, but it can be intoxicating. The feeling it can give you might take you to the wrong path. Izuku would relax. Remember the words as, right, have control. Nothing else. Izuku had a smile on his face, is now thinking, all right, what's my goal? Izuku didn't want to go home. That's definitely what he wanted to. He has a dream to fill. But now you think about it, seeing how Razor acted and saw Riz as just some prize, it gave him a bad taste in his mouth. Maybe he should have, he'd deal with Razor and help her, then figure out our way home afterwards. That's decided. Izuku could place whatever to put the sword that's laying on its back, and immediately it would be covered in the cloth. Long, and it would be tucked as it would be holding by the long red chain that's going on the side of his body. Oh. Okay. The greener would just simply walk back to the others, as they'll arrive back as very much seeing how the greener was doing. As Issei would say, yo, well, what's up with the getup? Powers. And the blade. I found something new within me. Another source, that darker feeling, remember, as I told you earlier? Yeah. Within the darker feeling, I found this. But I should just let it go, as stop using one for all, along with the power of the tube, the boosting gear, along with the Shinigami powers, it would revert back to its normal clothes. As it was a burst, as Zuko would feel the energy and power leave his body, as he'll be exhausted. Ugh, I'm exhausted. Okay, definitely reminding myself that the boosted gear takes up stamina. Drawback confirmed. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna take a few hours of sleep. Good night. As the Green Knight would head to his room to take a nap, a well-deserved rest. The moment he hit the sheets, he was out. He was having a pleasant dream. It was all peaceful in his home world. He was with All Might, his mother, Ida, Ochako. You know, it was going very well, but it changed. From the nice world, dream world, to lit on fire. Fire was everywhere. As it was all in flame. It's very much, you would feel it. Oh crap. Okay, where is it? As immediately he would feel the power, feel this energy. It was familiar. He knew where it was coming from. He had a good guess what it was. This is from the boosted gear. As immediately the flames would disperse, showing a red large dragon, 50 meters. He saw the dragon was at least 50 meters or more. We're around 70 to 80 meters at least. As this is when the dragon would say simply, "So, you're my partner. You're the Welsh Dragon Drake, aren't you?" That's dragon or not simply, yes. I have to admit, you're something different from the other wielders. You're pure of heart. I recommend it very much. I have to admit your progress with the boosted gear is impressive. Well, thanks. So, why are you here? I went through your memories when I first woke up. I have to admit, your homeworld was very interesting. Thank you, as it says. But this one for all seems strange. But it's good you found a way to calibrate it. This DJ will simply say, "Now let's talk." The other energies within your body, the darker one that you feel, that is the power that you were given the moment you died. Huh? Yes. That's the power that you were given. It's a darker feeling, yes, because it's death. And the other thing that was in it was a feeling of freedom, peace. It was called a Shinigami, as I remember. As in a reaper of death. As the dragon would nod, simply, yes. I have to admit, it's very nice. Well, partner, what will you do? Well, I want to help Rias and get out this marriage, then find a way to get back home. But I have a question. Through your experiences, how bad is this world compared to mine? As Trey would say simply, it's pretty bad. There's a lot of messed up things about it. I have to say your world has it better. Because you have heroes and other heroes alongside the world. But with this world doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a balance to try to bring peace to it. It only has small things, like small amounts of things that only make sense for a short amount of time. There is one great war. Very soon there will be a next. So you're saying it's that bad, the animosity between the devils, angels, and the angels? Yes. To be honest, the animosity between the three factions is pretty bad. I have to admit. I wouldn't be surprised if another great war happened. Izuku would very much stay quiet for a while. It's worse than I thought. My world has it better. But this world, it's on its last threads, isn't it? I have to admit, yes, it is on its last threads. And especially all the human lives that are just trying to live their own lives. They can be all affected by the supernatural, simply. There are no heroes to protect them. To be honest, they're all just not even being prepared for the fact that they might be attacked any moment. I have a goal now. I want to make this world safe. I will make sure that nothing happens to this world. There won't be no great wars. I'm gonna make sure there's gonna be peace between the three factions. No, not the three factions. All the fractions in this world. World peace will be achieved. I promise I will achieve it. I won't stop until I drop dead. Drake would smile seeing this. Well on, partner. I'll be by your side. But someone else will be needing to talk to you very soon. Ew. You'll be seeing them soon. And it's very much disappearing. He was supposed to disappear back to the fire. See you soon, partner. It's disappearing. Everything will go black. See the bright flash. He'd be on the skyscrapers. On the side of the building side as what the hell? Immediately he would see somebody on the side. It'll be what was that? Is that a version of himself? It was a white version. It was like white and black. It had white pale skin, but his eyes were black and hollowless, with golden eyes looking back at him. You can feel it as it's very much rushing towards him. Zuko would dawn upon the boost to gear, and catch the fist that was throwing at him. And simply he caught his fist and looked at him. Who the hell are you? I'm impressed, King. You're pretty strong at throwing a kick towards him. Zuko would hit the kick as going flying, quickly flipping over and turning one for all. The green crackle of electricity would flow through his body. Smiling, he would dawn upon the boosted gear. It was shocking, one for all. But something was different about it. Crackles of blue and red energy would flow around it. It was like a blackish reddish energy and a blue and purplish like energy flowing. Oh my god. Bluish like black and purple energy flowing. Red, blue, and black. I'm impressed. You're pretty strong. You're not like the last king. You're not like the last king who was so completely powerful. But you got some guts, kid. Who are you? Well, I won't tell you later, but I'll just tell you now. The name's Zangetsu. Huh? I don't know about that. It feels off to call you that. If you don't want to believe it, then fine. No, calling Zangetsu's not that. It just feels like you're more than just. Zangetsu. Huh. You know how stupid as you look. I wasn't calling you stupid or anything, but you're pretty smart. Smarter than I thought you were. Very much. I am of you, and you are me. We are one and the same. That's why you look like me. You're that darker aspect of that power within me, aren't you? I see you dawn upon the black and white cleaver blade as holding the large clear white knife on the side with the Shikaku Shushimigami close up appearing on his clothes. It's very much say simply as Zangetsu do the same. You're right, I am. And you're the one who got the Shushimigami powers from me. What do you want? Izuku says simply. Well, to be honest, I don't want to wrestle control from you. We can do this all day, to be honest. But I know with your new goal now, it's going to make it harder on me. So, I'll make a deal with you. So we don't have to wrestle with power so much. But I'll let you use a sliver of our power. But also, you have to do something for me. If you ever go unconscious or die, I take over. And I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm not abided by any of the rules or any of the allies you make. I do whatever the fuck I want. I don't know about that, Izuku says simply. If you take it or not, you're in my body, Izuku says simply. So you have to abide by me. You're a version of me, but you said you had a last wielder. So you're the invader, Izuku says simply. So our power is more likely just my power. So I make the rules. You won't be taking over my body at all. But if I go unconscious, you will take over my fights. If I go unconscious or I get close to near death where I'm at death's door, I mean literally. Literally. Not far or close. I mean when I'm actually about to die again. That's when you can take over. Unless then, if I'm still alive, perfectly okay, I'm beaten into a pulp, but I can still survive, you're not taking over, and I'll make sure of it. Alright, King, if you say so. I'll give you our power. Just know, if you are close to death's door, I will take control. I'll do as you say. But you better not die. As Zuko said simply. Alright, do you have any ways for me to get home when it comes to that time? To be honest, I don't have any other ways. I don't know. But I'll think of some things. I'll figure out something. Alright. Now get going, King. You have training to do for your master. She needs you. You need to save her, remember? And I have to admit that Riser guy pisses me off how he's talking in third person. The one thing I do hate the most is people who are overconfident, cocky just because of their power. One thing I always knew that no matter what, never underestimate your opponent. No matter who they are. Izuku would nod understanding. I can see where you're coming from. Alright. See you, I guess. As Izuku disappeared from the whole place completely, yes. Another voice would say simply, so, when do you think that time will come? As an older man would be there. He'll be in like a very long, black, soulless clothing. As he will have shaded glasses and long black hair. Zangetsu will say simply, soon. But I'm not sure when. But when that time comes, he'll be ready.